Do you remember playing tug of war when you were a kid? You got a bunch of your friends on one side of the rope tugging against a group of kids on the other side. A fun game, right? So imagine now, it's just you on one side of the rope, and on the other side is this huge muscular guy. And in between you, in the middle, is this dirty puddle of mud. Now, there's just two ways you're not getting pulled into that mud. The first is you fight with all your might. You're grunting, you're screaming, you're pulling, you're tugging, you're digging your feet into the ground. Good luck with this way, by the way. The second way is you just let go. You just let go of the rope. And the spiritual path is to let go. The spiritual path is surrender and release. And that's what I want to talk to you today about. Because all day, every day, you are playing this game of tug of war and you're losing. It's pulling you into the mud all day, every day. And here's where I may blow your mind. You're actually on both sides of the rope. Your consciousness is on one side of the rope. This is your higher self. On the other side of the rope is your personal self. This is your lower self, small self, little self. It's your mind and your ego. By the way, your ego is just the activity of the mind. It is not a separate entity. It is just the activity of the mind. Your consciousness, you were born with your consciousness. It's been with you all your life. It's like a light that shines. It's like the sun. And they call it the light of consciousness because wherever your light of consciousness shines, that is where your attention goes. And all day, every day, it is being pulled a million, billion, zillion different ways. It's like a popcorn machine. Everything is competing for your attention and distracting you. Distraction is just attention switching. You hear a plane in the sky. Oh, a dog barking. Hey, a car alarm. I'm hungry. I'm sad. I'm lonely. I don't like her shoes. I don't like his man bun. You're like, psh, psh, over here, popcorn machine. By the way, real funny, on a cloudy day recently, my friend said, the sun didn't come out today. The sun is always out. Your light of consciousness is always shining. It's just that it's being distracted in a million, billion, zillion different ways. So that's your consciousness on one side of the rope. On the other side, tugging it, more than anything else, is your personal self. And your personal self is just an endless, bottomless vacuum sucking at you, all with all the needs and wants and desires and fears and preferences. I want this. I like this. I don't want this. It's like all day, every day. What do I want and how do I get it? Or what do I not want and how do I avoid it? That's your personal self. And it's so noisy and it's so demanding and it's pulling and tugging you into the mud. It's dragging you all day because you're serving it and you're defending it, obsessively serving it and defending it. So here's where I get to offend you. You are super special and you are unique, but you are also insignificant. I'm insignificant. You're insignificant. We are all insignificant. Planet Earth has been around 1,000,000 years. There's 8 billion people on this planet, and you drop down on this planet for 80 years and somehow automatically think, all right, I'm the center of the universe and the world revolves around me. We all think that, and that is our personal self. And so our frame of reference, our perspective is so small because it's all about us, me, I, you. You are just a drop in the ocean, but you are also the ocean in a drop. That's a good one for another video another day. You are just a drop in the ocean, but you are also the ocean in a drop. But my point here is our frame of reference is so small. There's a big, huge world out there, 8 billion different people, but our whole frame of reference and perspective is all about you, me, I I need this. I want this. I want you to behave this way. I want you to wave at me. I know you saw me. You need to say hello. Everything is coming at from our frame of reference, our point of view. And it's so small and so limiting. And by the way, this personal self is so noisy and demanding and obsessive. And if you can see that, and it's tugging you and pulling you into the mud all day, every day, it's so noisy with these desires and fears. It's all desire and fear. What do I want and how do I get it? What do I not want and how do I avoid it? And what you come to realize, that it is running your life and it is ruining your life. It's running your life and it is ruining your life because everything is about you. But you are the problem. And no you, no problem. That's why I'm titling this video, No You, No Problem. And what I mean by that is stop obsessively serving and defending your personal self and then see how life flows for you. I'll give you a few examples. You get a flat tire. What's the first thing that goes through your mind? Bad things always happen to me. I don't deserve this. Life is so unfair. What does a flat tire have to do with you? I'll give you the real physics of it. It's this steel nail that punctured rubber and air came out. And somehow you made it all about you. Or you throw a dinner party and one of the people that you're really hoping to show up didn't come and you get all upset. Oh, why didn't she come? Oh my gosh, she must be mad at me because I texted her or this. Or your significant other forgot your birthday. Or you didn't get a big enough gift on your birthday and you get all angry. Everything is about you. I'm not picking on you. I'm saying me too. And all of us, our frame of reference is so small because it's all about us. Me, I. And if you can see that and that it's pulling you and tugging you into the mud all day, your frame of reference changes because the world is so big and yet our mind is so small because we're living in our heads and not living life. And so you say, okay, I'm going to try meditation. I'm going to sit down and see what's going on in there. And as soon as you sit down on the cushion for the first time, you just go, oh my God, it's unbelievably noisy in there. There's just this neurotic mess. As my one friend said, I'd rather be electrocuted than sit down and meditate. But you're tenacious. If you've been listening to videos, my other videos and stuff like this, you're like, I'm going to keep trying. And finally, you start having a good relationship with your thoughts and feelings, and you can sit with it. And at some point, you might say, yeah, man, I had a great meditation. I sat for 15 minutes. I felt peace and calm and tranquility. And what I would say is great. But as soon as you got off that cushion, you got pulled right away back by your personal self. You got tugged right away. And I'm asking, why are you getting pulled? What is pulling you out of consciousness, out of your being, out of your awareness? I want to know why you're continuously getting pulled. Even if you got 15 minutes of good meditation, that's good, but it's not good enough. Aim higher. All day, every day, you're getting pulled and tugged by this personal self. Let go. Surrender and release. Just let go of it. So once you get a taste of it, maybe through this 15-minute meditation and stuff, you see that your awareness is whole and complete. There's no sense of lack. Nothing is missing. You don't really have needs and wants and fears and desires. When you abide in awareness, when you rest in consciousness, you feel whole and complete. No sense of lack. Nothing's missing. You have no impulse to leave it because why would you leave? You have everything you want. There's peace and calm and stillness and happiness. Once you get a taste of it, you want more of it. And what you can realize is you can go into life and be in awareness, abide in consciousness. But you have to see what's pulling you out of awareness. And that's what I want to talk to you today about. What is pulling you out? If you got 15 minutes meditation, good, that's great. But as soon as you got off the cushion, you got pulled right back into it, and your mind is gone, and you have these needs, wants, desires, preferences, fears, all that stuff. That's not good enough. My point is, you can go 24/7 with this feeling of feeling whole and complete, but you've got to let go of the rope and stop letting it tug you and compete with you. And what you realize is the moment in front of you is not bothering you. You're bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. The moment in front of you is not bothering you. You're bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. If you're cooking dinner and you're chopping vegetables or boiling your pasta and everything, but you're thinking about what your boyfriend said this morning, you're getting tugged because he said something mean to you. You're getting tugged by your personal self. So the whole time you're preparing dinner, you're thinking about your boyfriend and whatever mean thing he said or texted you. And then you sit down at dinner and now you're thinking about a meeting tomorrow with your boss and what he's going to say or she's going to say and all that stuff. Are you living in your head or are you living life? You're living in your head. A mantra I use that may be helpful to you is, if it's not on the outside, it's not in the inside. If it's not on the outside, it's not in the inside. If you're in your kitchen cutting vegetables, preparing dinner, your boyfriend or whoever you're thinking about is not in the kitchen. If it's not on the outside, you don't let it on the inside. As you're having dinner, if you're thinking about a meeting tomorrow with your boss, if it's not on the outside, I'm not letting it go in the inside. You just let it go. How do you let go, Mark? If I put a hot potato in your hand, you just drop it, right? Surrender and release. You just drop it. You say, I don't want this. I don't want this in my head anymore. I'll deal with it when I have to. And a lot of feedback I get from people is like, I need to keep it alive, otherwise I'll forget it and I won't know what to do. That's not true. If you burned your finger on a hot stove when you were 8 years old, you know, you're 30, 40, 50 years old now. You know, when you see a hot stove, you don't put your finger on it. You don't have to go all day, every day thinking about that hot stove. You know. So when the moment comes when you need to respond to somebody, you will know, but you don't need to keep it alive in your head all day, every day and let it be pulling and tugging you. And this is why you're not happy. It's kind of simple, but it's so mind-blowing. Because you're getting pulled and tugged into the mud all day, every day, defending and serving obsessively your personal self. And if you can see that, you just let go. It's like, oh, my neighbor didn't say hello to me. I wonder why. No, I just let go. I don't care. I'm good. You just move on. The girl at the gym didn't smile at me. All right. Maybe she didn't see me. I don't even know. But I'm not going to obsessively defend or serve my personal self. And all of a sudden you find this freedom because you're not dealing with all this junk in your head. It's a neurotic mess and it's so noisy in there. And that's why, like, the first time you meditated, you're like, oh my God, it's noisy as hell in there. What's going on? It's all this junk in your head. So you let that clutter go, that neurotic mess. You let your personal self go. You let go of the rope. And this is what the luminaries, the spiritual gurus say, die before you die, or die to be reborn. What are they talking about? They're basically saying, let go of the personal self that I'm talking to you about today. So die before you die. Let go of that personal self before you actually die physically. And it's so beautiful because it's freedom from yourself. Freedom from yourself. You stop serving and stop defending obsessively your personal self. And this is liberation. This is why they call it liberation, because you're free. You don't have all these needs and wants and desires and fears and preferences. And you don't wake up every day going, what do I want and how am I going to get it? And what do I don't want and how am I going to avoid it? You just go out and experience life. And it's such a game changer because you're not being hit by this and you're not being pulled and tugged all day by it. It's really a beautiful thing. And you literally go from preference to gratitude. I actually go from preference to gratitude and awe and wonder. It's just amazing We're here on a very short time here on planet Earth, relatively speaking. And there's just beauty and experiences. And if you don't get caught in the minutia of your personal self, you're just going through life experiencing, going, man, this is amazing. I see trees and birds singing and water and lakes and oceans and flowers and people and cars, and you just experience it all. It's such a transcendental thing when you free yourself of your mind and break free of the ego. And there's still going to be challenges in life, but you don't struggle with the challenges in them because you've taken yourself, the story of yourself, out. See, there's the circumstance, and then there's a story that you've created of the circumstance. When I talked about the flat tire is a circumstance, but you created a story, made it about you. Why does this happen to me? Life is unfair. I don't deserve this. That's the story of the circumstance. How about you just stay with the circumstance? I got a flat tire. I got to deal with it. I got to call AAA or a buddy to pick me up or whatever I got to do. You just deal with it, but the story goes away. This is why I say, know you, no problem, because you don't have the story anymore. You're not obsessively defending and serving you, because you are the problem. When I say you, I mean the small self, the personal self. If you remember in the beginning, I called it the little self, the small self, the lower self. Your higher self is your consciousness, your being, your awareness. Serve that, abide in that, come from that, and see how your life changes. And all these little things, all day, every day, that's pulling and tugging at you, you just let it go. Oh, but my neighbor didn't say hello to me. What's up with that? I don't know, but I don't care. I'm making dinner. I'm not thinking about my neighbor or a friend or somebody in the gym or at work or what my boss said. If it's not on the outside, it's not going in the inside. It's such a awesome mantra that's helped me so much. It even helps me with insomnia. You're in the comfort of your home on a beautiful, comfortable bed, 300 thread sheets and a goose down pillow, and you're thinking about what happened earlier today and reliving conversations and text messages and replaying things. How about you just put your head on the pillow and go, if it's not on the outside, in other words, in my bedroom here, in the comfort of my home, I'm not letting it go on the inside. You see how fast you fall asleep. I hope this was helpful. It's helped me. It's been a game changer in my life. It's been fun to share it with you. Onward and upward. Love and light.